By the Westport Touchless Auto Washes. AllHawkeyes.com brought to you by Premier Automotive in North Liberty. Hit a deer, call Premier. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's Lock and E-Keys for cars. GT Car and his crew at Supple Siding and Remodeling. Sittler's LED Supplies. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Ox Yoke Inn. Zephyr's Printing and Designing and Printed Ink on the Ped Mall, and Big Dog TV and Internet in Cedar Rapids.
Home, Steve.
Huh?
Go big or go home.
By the way, this will be the last AllHawkeyes.com on Ustream.
Wow.
Starting next week. Well, actually starting at the end of the auction Friday. All of our live programs in here will be on YouTube. We're moving to YouTube Friday after the auction.
We're moving to YouTube.
Now, you can also go to our website in 1630kcjj.com and click on the speaker to the left where it says Listen Live, and you can hear the audio. You can also hear the audio on the TuneIn app and the MyTuner app on your phone, pad, or tablet. Audio will be streamed all the time, and on YouTube, we will stream our video and audio when we are live in the studio.
Brought to you by the Iowa City Marketplace.
Yeah.
Get that plug in.
Yeah. All
Plugs are important, Steve.
Yes, I know, Tom. I was going to get to that. So there you go. You like all these changes, Pat?
Mm-hmm. So, did Ustream fight to keep you guys?
Ustream wanted a lot of money. No, they don't care if they have us or...
They don't care that
They're losing hundreds of thousands of customers.
And they don't care?
They don't care. IBM bought them, and IBM just wants to market to the corporations. And he told me as much, the guy.
Okay. Then they got their own business plan, and it's nice that there's a... Why didn't you guys go YouTube to begin with?
Huh?
How come you didn't
go...
When
YouTube wasn't that big of a deal when we went on, and Ustream at one time had promised us that they would share the money that they made off the advertising.
Did they ever do that?
No.
I've never seen a check.
No, they never did it, but I've got it in my desk drawer, as a matter of fact.
Why don't you sue them?
When we went to them, because we were with them exclusively.
Sue them.
And
just sue. Seriously, get a lawyer on the line and sue their asses.
But I talked to and I said to the guy, I said, "Well, you're going to lose a lot of people using your service." And he goes, "Yeah, hundreds of thousands. It wasn't my idea."
You know what you say though? You sue them and you say, "By the end of this thing, Ustream's going to be my stream." You tell them that.
Yeah.
There you go. Threaten them.
That's what I like.
You like that?
We were to get 15% of what they made off of advertising.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And they never did?
Never did.
Not penny number one.
But you never signed anything. It was all...
No, it was a contract to use them exclusively all these
And that was
years.
in the writing of the contract?
That's why we weren't streaming our audio.
That does seem weird, though. How come you guys never considered legal action?
Yeah, we had a lot of legal action over the last few years that we...
Well, I'm talking about you suing somebody, not people suing you. I'm talking about the other way around.
We haven't had anyone suing us in a long time.
Well, why don't we bring it up, Tom?
There you go. We got a call here. You know who this isn't? Karn. Karn doesn't do the weekdays.
No.
She's a Saturday warrior.
But she has an exclusive.
Yes, she does.
To only do Saturdays with us. No, nobody's sued us in a long time.
And we haven't sued anybody.
We haven't sued anybody, and now he wants me to go to court.
Yes.
Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I was just going to say maybe Stormy's attorney's available.
So this was the greatest line ever, because one thing that I think all Democrats and Republicans can agree on is we're sick of Stormy.
Yes. And her lawyer.
And her lawyer. And so her lawyer on Twitter put up a poll. What do you think Trump will call me if I run for president? And he's got a bunch, Baldy and things like that. And Steve Anderson just made me laugh
Hawkeye
out loud to where I...
You talking Hawkeye Title and Settlement? Steve?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I laughed out loud, and Jan's sleeping, and I woke her up. He goes, "Dickwad."
Well, there you go.
Thanks, caller.
That just tickled me.
I think our caller was calling to get you to go off like you just did. So I'm not aware of what's going on with Stormy Daniels' lawyer. I don't follow.
Oh, he's thinking if they don't get a good candidate to run
he's
against
gonna
Trump,
run?
he's going to run.
Well, I mean,
Well, folks,
don't laugh.
Trump proved that anybody can get elected.
Stormy might run.
Well,
Who would you vote for between Trump and Stormy Daniels?
Stormy.
Would you vote for Stormy?
I think that pairing might keep me away from the voting booth. Either that, or I wouldn't vote for president. Probably.
I would love Kasich to run or Biden.
I don't. Kasich couldn't even win his party's nomination.
No, but
He didn't even win the Ohio.
No.
I understand that, but he's the only.
He can't
I know,
win, but he can't win.
makes perfect sense.
I know.
I mean, he really does. This guy makes perfect sense.
To you, but then to 280 million other Americans, he doesn't, I guess.
No, because they want to fight, evidently. Everybody wants to fight.
Trump's fighting right now.
Yeah.
He'll say that he's fighting on behalf of all of us.
Look at the body language.
Oh, God.
With him and Merkel.
Look at him. That almost looks like a Saturday Night Light skit. I mean,
It does. Hello.
look at that.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
I read where Stormy Daniels is going to be in your old stomping grounds at Big Girls in Des Moines.
She just wasn't she?
Yeah.
I thought she.
I think she's done it.
I think she was there last week.
Did she take it all off or what?
I don't know. I was.
I don't think she takes it all off.
Oh, she
Does
does.
take it all off? There
Okay.
ain't enough Lysol in Iowa.
Well, she's a porn actress.
Well, I didn't think on her act she took it all off.
Oh,
There's people around her with Lysols. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
spraying everything down.
Stormy Daniels' appearance brought to you by Lysol.
People are going in there with masks covering their mouths, surgical masks.
Oh, God. That shot, though, of Merkel and Trump was priceless.
Yeah, it does. It looks like Saturday Night.
It really does. Like overacting. Like people overacting to kind of insinuate the part. It just, I mean, it was just, Merkel looks like, my God.
What the hell?
Well, and Trump doesn't look real happy either. He looks like the kind of guy, I ain't budging, so no matter what you say, it ain't going to work.
You like my new bracelet?
What is it?
Piece of yarn.
I hadn't
Why
even
do you
known.
have-
Next door neighbor gave it to me. Sloan,
Oh.
our 6-year-old next door neighbor. Well, not next door, a couple doors down.
Yeah.
Is that James Allen's kid? Doesn't James Allen
No.
live right down? James Allen's from UI Sports.
Yeah, no, he lives around the cul-de-sac. He's sort of catty corner from
On the
us.
other side of the street or same side?
Other side of the
Other
street.
side.
He's living next,
Oh, it's
But
royal.
I could throw a baseball from my front porch to his easily.
It's royalty over there on Rita Lynn
Oh
Court.
yeah, yeah. But meanwhile,
Why don't you move over there on the? Would you like Captain living on the cul-de-sac with you?
I'm sitting across from Eastern Iowa's largest fireworks display every night.
We've got the house across the street from us is for sale.
There you go. Would you like Captain to move right across the street from you?
Well, the glow from his television set every day would bother me, but
Right, both of you guys, right on Rita Lynn Court. I like the idea that you could go to work together. Well, I'll know because you don't go to work at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
like the captain does. That would not work. So, all right, Hawkeyes.
No.
Isn't that why we're here?
theoretically.
Theoretically, we're here to talk about the Hawkeyes. It's July 11th. No real good music dates or anything. I looked it up. No good. I don't want to degrade the people who were born on this day, but they just didn't jump out to me. I think like maybe Richie Sambora. I think or some.
I like Richie.
I remember Mel and Kim.
Yeah.
One of them died.
Backfield in motion.
One of them was born on this day.
Backfield in
In
motion. I'm gonna have to penalize you.
That was
Yeah.
Mel and Kim.
Yeah.
Really? One of them's dead, I think.
Which one?
I don't know. Either Mel or
Doesn't
Kim.
Where
matter.
do I look up?
Just look up Mel
Mel
and
or
Kim.
Tim?
Look up Mel. Isn't it MEL and KIM?
Yeah.
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 No, Mel and Tim.
Was it
No,
Tim?
it's Kim. I thought it was Kim, KIM. I'm talking
No,
about
it's
two.
Tim.
Well, then we're thinking of something else. Then I'm not getting it right on.
Well, but backfield in motion could have
Well,
been
no.
a good segue to the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, well, true. We're thinking of something else, though, I think.
Mel and Kim.
Yeah, tweet that. Google that and see what it comes up with. But yeah, the basketball
Pop
recruit.
duo.
Yeah, that's what I meant. One of them's dead. And you never heard of them?
No, not at all.
You've never heard of them either? Interesting.
So they're not the ones who did Backfield in Motion?
Mel died.
Yeah.
God, she died at the age of 23
Yeah, no, I remember that.
from cancer.
Well,
They had, like-
a song on the UK charts, Respectable,
You ever?
but they never made.
They never really had a chance to really make it over here. And I'd never heard of that song. I don't know why I know them. I think they're in that rock and roll death dictionary
Your
I
death
have.
book?
One of them from Dying So Young. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Kind of like, remember Tammy Terrell?
Yeah.
Wasn't she really young when she died?
Yeah.
In her 20s.
Yeah. And she was just starting to.
Damn good,
cancer.
too.
Yeah, no.
Brain
she-
cancer.
Yeah, she was just starting to blossom as a star, but no, the recruiting stuff, this DJ Carton stuff is still. I mean, the reaction has just been ridiculous. I mean, the overreaction, I should say.
I've completely turned the page.
What's funny though is now people are saying, well, you know, he only lived here 3-4 years, so it's. But before those same people were saying, well, he's gone to high school here in Iowa, he's ours. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's just.
Evidently
I still
nothing.
say if they had won more games, and if they were 14-4 instead of 4-14, I think he'd. Not saying he would have picked them. I think they'd be in his final three right now.
Mel and Tim. Tim is also dead. Died
Wow.
in 1986.
And were they Backfield in Motion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kim and Tim.
Yeah, maybe they should merge.
Hello.
Hey guys, since you don't have any sports to talk about, maybe you could talk about a certain baseball coach at a local high school that got Southeast Regional Coach of the Year.
Okay, who?
Jeff Pacia at Regina.
Oh, congratulations
cool.
to Jeff.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah, they are. Every year they're good, and no, that's congrats. Thanks for pointing that out.
I mean, you know, there's nothing in the frickin' local paper. There's nothing in the Gazette. I mean, I don't get it.
There'll be something on your Prep Sports.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Good info. Yeah, I hadn't heard.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure Ryan Merkin's aware of it, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't have. Have you checked your Prep Sports?
I got an article on that
No.
today.
That's where you need to go for.
Got the,
That's where you need to go for local high school sports coverage. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
touting it just because I'm involved with it, but your Prep Sports is where you're going to get stuff like that. I mean, we cover everything local. We're about the only ones that still cover Iowa high school sports. Iowa City, wouldn't you guys agree? Iowa City high school sports. I mean, the Press Citizen doesn't do it anymore.
You'll see some stuff in the
All right,
Gazette
thanks.
sometimes.
Yeah, the
but
Gazette will.
sometimes.
I mean, the Gazette was there last night, but they don't cover. I mean, Ryan Merkin.
Yeah.
Nobody covers Iowa City high school sports like your Prep Sports.
in
That's
all
why it's a-
fairness, though, the Press Citizen, even if you're blind, the font now is so big you have to be able to read it.
God, I can't remember the last time I saw the Press
Honest
Citizen.
to God, I guess that's to take up
I have no idea.
room so they
I'd
don't
have
have
to
to
look-
write stories.
I'd have to look at it to see it. I mean, I can't. Do you still get it at your house?
No.
The Wednesday one.
Oh, the free one. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
that goes right into
I
that.
haven't gotten the Press Citizen.
You
get
get
the
the free
Wednesday
one,
20
don't you?
years.
You get the Wednesday. What
Yeah,
do you do?
but I
with it?
don't read it.
You just throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Absolutely.
I don't.
We
read
don't get ours till like I wake up on Thursday morning and it's there and it's
Well, I don't read it, but I also don't criticize them for doing it. Like some
Yeah.
people, it's a pain. It gets in the way, and hey, they're
Well,
giving
I don't
they're
criticize-
giving something away free.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect them for doing
No,
it.
I don't
criticize-
have a problem.
I just don't have any interest in
but
reading.
the font is really big.
Really.
I mean, yeah.
But no, stuff like that. I mean, Ryan Merkin. I don't know for sure if he's got it typed in, but we always run stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we pretty much run everything that involves the 7 local high schools we cover. And I mean, in fairness to the Press Citizen, they just don't cover high school sports anymore. They do a lot of recruiting, and I mean, they'll cover some, but they just don't do it. I can't. They weren't at any City or West thing that we did this year. And that's just kind of their way they choose to do things now. So
Well, and congrats to the City High softball team.
Yeah.
That's great. It's the
I
first
mean,
time in 17 years.
4 years ago, that program was bad, but they made a good hire, and it does help when you get 3 really good freshmen and some other really good young players on that team. I mean, Brianna Bentler, she's a junior. She's the seasoned veteran on that team, and she's been playing on the team since her 8th grade year, so she knows what it's like. She knows what it's like going from being really bad to this team's pretty good. This team can really hit the ball. So they're not going to be favored to win it by any means. They play number 1 PV. They've beaten P. I think they split during the regular season. But City High, if you're the pitcher, you better bring it because this team can hit up and down the lineup. They're number 9. They're number 8. They all can hit the ball, and 1 through 5 are just incredible. And they're all playing really well right now. And I'm happy for City High. It was neat. That place was packed last night. I can't believe how many people were on that hill. Now I will say one thing. I think they're going to probably need more bleachers if that program continues to grow, which I think it will, especially with such a young core of players. They're going to need more space. More people are going to start showing up for those games. And yeah, you can all sit on the hill, but some people don't like to sit on the hill.
I kind of like sitting on the hill. We went to some
I do
games
too, but I
years
think
ago.
some people would prefer to be behind home plate. But no, it's a good problem to have. If you need more bleachers to suffice for an increase in fans, that's a great problem to have. And frankly, I hope they kind of do have that problem because that means things are continuing. But this program's going to be good for a while. I mean, their number 1, 2, and 3 hitters are all freshmen. I mean, think
That's
about that.
just amazing.
Hello.
Do we know what the Iowa City High volleyball coach did to be suspended for 1 year?
Well, the Gazette had something that he was doing outside practices or something like that. They were organized structure when I guess you're not supposed to. That's all I know about it right now. That's all I.
So for something like that, it was probably another team that turned him in.
I have no idea. I would assume.
Probably.
Yeah, I would. Usually that's how the high school stuff works that way. But yeah, I mean, but I don't know for sure, and I don't think they ever reveal who that is.
So he was suspended.
Well, it looks like he's going to not coach for this coming year. Doesn't look like he's fired or anything, but
That seems harsh.
yeah, and supposedly the charge was that he was having organized practices or something when you're not supposed to. I guess I don't know.
So you're suspended for a year?
Yes, it does seem harsh.
It does seem real harsh.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
I guess they don't mess around in volleyball.
Well, my guess is that would be the same punishment for any type of sport.
Yeah, probably.
If you're caught doing organized stuff when you're not allowed to be organized. That's how I interpreted it. So we are more than all hockey. We're all littlehawks.com today.
Yeah.
Today, but.
And Regals?
And the Regals, yes. No, Jeff Pasha, he does a good job over there. And Regina's kind of interesting. They always play a bunch of bigger schools early, mid-season, and they start to maybe get a few losses, and you don't take them for granted, but you kind of forget about them a little bit. But when it gets down to playoff time and they're back in their class, I mean, they're loaded, they're loaded and ready to go.
Yep.
And this is another one of those years. I mean, last night's game, I believe, was pretty close, but they found a way to win. And yeah, Jeff's done a good job there. He's so positive. And so yeah, to be a high school baseball coach, any coach of high school, I salute the men and women who do it because it takes a lot of time, especially the ones who do it in the summer when you don't have the structure of school and what have you. To me, that, I don't know, just on the outside looking in, that in some ways would make it tougher. And they put in a lot of time coaching these kids.
No, absolutely. You know, our society is so skewed because the teachers, don't get paid as much as they should. And then you get...
What about policemen?
And then you get athletes making, $90 million a year.
And then the problem with that, though, is
CEOs.
the two jobs that you just brought up are all basically paid with taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
And many taxpayers think we're already paying too many taxes. So that, I don't know how you alleviate that problem. Of course, you could always redistribute the money, but that's just not...
That ain't going to happen.
That ain't going to happen.
No.
In our society, yes.
It just means the hot dogs are $10 instead of $8. And
it just means that in our free market society, a sports athlete has
more value.
Has more value. There's just more money to be made. Just by now, we could have a dictatorship, and a dictator could say, "Give me all the money, and I'll pay those policemen more," or whatever, But we have it our way, and it kind of dictates everything for us. But LeBron James, he just signed 4 year. Each year he gets $35 million. I mean, that's pretty good work if you can get it.
Pretty good pay.
And he's got that. I didn't realize he was such a big investor in that Blaze Pizza, which is the fastest growing restaurant chain in America right now. It is just exploding.
Is it any good?
I've never had it. It's nowhere near here, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, we got one downtown.
Yeah, we got one
there's
downtown.
one. That's his, though, the LeBron?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the one. I thought that was... Yeah, I've never had it.
I've never had it either.
I have never had it either.
But it's the fastest growing. No wonder. I mean, it's growing so fast. It's here. I mean, because lots of times it seems like Iowa City's late to get some of these things. I mean, Iowa City still doesn't have like a P.F. Chang or a Balaji's, or there's so many. Like I just drive down the strip in
Portillo's. Or...
Well, there's a strip in West Des Moines where my parents used to live. I drive down this thing and just count the number of restaurants that were just on that strip that weren't in Iowa City.
P.F. Chang isn't bad. It really.
I like it.
You can get it in the. You get it in the store.
Yeah, it's not bad in the store, but it's
Yeah,
not the
but
same.
it's not the
It's
same.
not the same.
No.
It can't be.
And we don't
But it's
have
not bad.
In-N-Out or Five Guys or
Well, that,
Whataburger.
I don't miss Five Guys.
No,
Not a-
I think Five Guys is way
reg-
overpriced and overrated.
The Register did a poll. It was actually interesting. I actually read it. They did. They asked their readers, and 80,000 responded. What restaurants would you want most? What businesses, restaurants would you want most to come here? Steak and Shake won by a landslide to come to Des Moines.
Steak and Shake is great.
They had 8,000 people.
They don't have one in Des Moines?
No, there's only one in Iowa, and it's the one in Coralville.
There's only one in
No,
Iowa?
there's one in the Quad
Or
Cities.
Quad Cities. That's right.
Yeah.
They named. There's 2 in Iowa.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
No,
and-
it's delicious.
And they talked to none of the owners of the places would respond, but it did make it sound like Steak and Shake, if they want to, they could explode on here. And the other ones, who else? I think In-N-Out Burger was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one that
I
strictly
think it
out
was Whataburger.
I think my IKEA was 4th. That was the only non-food that was on there, was IKEA. But Steak and Shake was a runaway winner. But yeah, so we got a little. I go to the one up here every once in a while. I mean, I really do. If I'm out there, I love their French fries.
When we were in Coralville, we went out there.
Steak and Shake?
Yeah,
and you
love
can
that place.
you can eat Steak and Shake with a drink for $6.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
No other place you can
explain
do
to me.
Yeah, this
Okay.
was the greatest pricing ever.
Get a single with cheese for what was it, $3.99,
$3.99.
Then you can get a.
and you can get a double with cheese for $3.99.
And you can get a triple with cheese for $3.99.
See, now I was not aware of that
Yeah.
Yes.
at Steak and Shake.
Yes.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you get the triple?
No, you're right. I was not aware of that.
I always get the triple. Why wouldn't you get the triple?
Well, there's also a point of too much meat. I mean, that's
No.
yeah.
No, because the patties aren't that
Yeah,
big.
the patties.
Yeah, but I
are
don't need a
thin.
triple. But I've never. I'll try that sometime. I have a feeling I'm going to get. I'm going to come. I have a feeling I'm going to come in here. Hey, that thing you guys were telling me ended up costing me $11.20.
No.
Okay, I'll
costs-
see. I have to be out there.
It's out on their marquee. It says $3.99.
Because they've got a single and a double combo package, and the double combo package is like $1.50 more than the single. I see it every day. I go there. I mean, I've been there a lot. It's more, guys. Trust me. It's right there on the price thing. The double is more than the single combo package. I see it all the time. I always end up getting the single.
On the menu.
Well, I'm just telling you, the combo singles and doubles are different by about $1. And they've also got a triple. They don't have a triple on the 8 things they take you right to the menu. And the double is always a little bit more than the single, because I always end up getting the single because I want to. And
Hello.
Hey, it's Randy.
hey, Randy.
Say on that Steak and Shake deal, every time we come out to the Iowa game and my wife's with me, we have to have Steak and Shake.
Oh, and it's a perfect location
it's
for
good.
that. I bet that place makes a killing there. Especially, I was not
I'll bet
aware
they
that
do.
there was only 2. I mean, I was stunned when I figured that. There's none in Des Moines. I just assumed Des Moines had 4 or 5.
Yeah, I can't believe that there isn't one, and we talk about that every time.
Well, where's the one in the
It's like,
Quad
why
Cities,
in the world
Captain?
isn't there one?
Is it in Davenport or is
It's
it
in
on?
Davenport.
It's in Iowa though. It's on the Iowa
Yeah.
side. Okay, because I believe that article did count. I think that article did include the Iowa. It did include that one from Davenport. But no, I love Steak and Shake. I mean, I think it's and that with that $4.99 special where you can. I mean, that's,
I'm looking at the menu.
Yeah, the prices are great.
Oh, the prices. are-
$3.99 for a single. $3.99 for a double.
That's just the sandwich. I'm talking about the combo meal itself are different prices. And I don't think, and the reason I think they get you that is because I don't think many people order.
But it's
Something
got a
just a
picture of
sandwich.
fries with it. It's got a plate with a.
I'm just going, but that's still,
Yeah.
when you drive up, next time you go to the window, just because I don't want to sit here and argue about this. It's not important.
We are going to break it down.
But just, you'll see the double is the double combo pack is different than the single. And I don't think
That could very well be.
I don't think they advertise a triple. I've never seen a triple.
Oh yeah, I get the
I
triple.
get them all the time.
Yeah, but I just don't think they offer it in a. They've got like 8 value meals they have right there on a menu, and see they used to have Chicago dogs, but they don't have those anymore. They've only got just big
They
hot
might.
dogs.
My son likes to. They turn around and have these little cardboard cars that you fold up and stuff. he gets excited about.
What now?
going
What?
there and
Oh, they
doing
give
that.
it to the kids. They give you a little.
Oh,
card.
so like a
Yeah,
like
you
a
make
Happy
a little
Meal.
toy.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some good burgers, though.
Tell you what, they're getting a lot of free advertising right now. Do they advertise with you guys?
No.
Have you ever tried?
Yes.
They
Yeah.
shot you down.
We don't do any advertising.
That's right. Most of those big places like that don't.
Told us to go to hell.
Yeah, I turned around and went out to Adel on Saturday. They had that 100th birthday deal for Niall Kinnick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, that's
way cool.
That was neat. That was really neat. Yeah, 100 years, amazing.
They had that. Is it Tom Litt or Todd Litt that wrote that book for about Niall Kinnick that they're doing a movie about? He was selling his book out there.
Well, remember we had the guy in here who's
Yeah.
actually producing the project, and I don't remember the name of the author. I should, but it just escaped me.
But we were kind of bummed. I brought my son. His name is Kinnick.
Oh.
Over there, so we turned. They said they were going to have a bunch of kids' activities and all kind of things. They did have Herky and the cheerleaders out there, but they were just cutting out cake and giving people cake, and there wasn't any activities for the kids. There was a bunch of kids sitting on park benches wondering when something was going to happen. But
that's unfortunate.
So,
I bet he liked. Does he like that? Does he like being named Kinnick? I bet he does.
Yeah, he does, especially when we go to stuff like that.
Sure, no, that would be pretty cool.
It is cool
to have that as your name. So,
what do you call him for short, though?
Kenny.
Oh, it's Kinnick all the time.
Wow.
Kinnick all the time.
My mother-in-law said that she was going to call him Kenny because she thought it was ridiculous, but she calls him Kinnick now too. So
there you go. Kind of grows on you after a while. No, that's neat that you would do that.
It's a better name than I was called in school, Fat Ass.
You were called Fat Ass?
See, a nickname, I'd probably call him Nick.
Or Ken.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. How's his north end zone coming along?
Yeah. All right. Have a good day, guys.
All right, Randy. It's coming along well. We were just over there yesterday.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
It really is. It really looks neat. It just takes the stadium to a whole new level. But yeah, we met. We can talk after the break. Is this money?
Yes.
But yeah, we met with like 6 to 8 players yesterday. Nothing ground.
I saw
breaking.
Tyler's videos. Yeah.
Nothing groundbreaking, but it's always good to get an update.
Hello.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey,
Adam. How
what's
you
up,
doing?
Adam?
How's those tariffs working out for everybody?
Yeah, the market's down a little bit today, so we'll see what happens. But it was running there for a while. We had a good couple days there, so it's kind of taken away yesterday's gain. So I think we'll wait and see where the tariff talk kind of leads. But I got to think they're discussing things behind the scenes a little bit here. That's a big one, $200 million. So
yeah, that is. Yeah, it is. Well, here's Adam
Excuse me,
Haleska.
not million. I meant billion.
A billion. Here's Adam Haleska, Wells Fargo Advisors, with the markets.
All right, thanks, guys. Hey, good morning, everyone. Stocks finished higher for the day on Tuesday. Yesterday, the Dow climbed 143 points. S&P 500 was up 9, and the Nasdaq Composite added 3 points. Now, the S&P 500 was up with those 9 points to 2,793. That is its highest level since February 1st. The S&P advanced for the 4th consecutive session yesterday as investors are focused on the start of the earnings season. Consumer staples were up the most yesterday as shares of Walmart added 1.5% to $87.21 a share. Procter & Gamble climbed 2.5% to $79.82 a share. And in earnings, Pepsi jumped 4.8% yesterday, topping Wall Street profit projections. Energy and material groups were also outperformed as Chevron Corp was up 1.2% and Dow DuPont advanced 1.6%. Meanwhile, eBay declined 2.3% and Biogen was down 2.6% after both companies were the subject of analyst downgrades. Looking at today, Wednesday, July 11th, major averages are currently poised to decline amid renewed trade uncertainty. Global markets are being pressured following news that the Trump administration is considering imposing additional tariffs of $200 billion in Chinese goods. Currently, the Dow is down 138 points, S&P is down 10 points, and NASDAQ is down 16 points this morning. Shares of U.S.-listed Chinese tech companies are lagging in the market trading following that renewed trade rhetoric. European markets are firmly lower this morning. European stock 600 is slipping 1%, pressured by shares of auto, mining, oil, and gas companies. Germany's DAX is dropping 1.2%, while the FTSE 100 is sliding 1.1% this morning. In Asia overnight, China's Shanghai Composite slumped 1.8%. That ended their 3-day winning streak. And treasuries are strengthening with the yield on the benchmark 10-year note down 3 basis points. It's trading at 2.84%. In commodities, crude is falling 1.1% this morning to $73.27 a barrel. And lastly, gold is slipping 0.4%. That is trading at $12.50 an ounce. Once again, this has been Adam Haluska with Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. If you're in the Iowa City, Coralville area, we can be reached at 319-338-3799, or you can always come in and see us. Adam Haluska, Corey Urian, Ted Stoley, and Daryl Courtney. We're at 501 12th Avenue, Suite 201 in Coralville, Iowa.
You can see us and hear us at 1630kcjj.com. Powered by the Iowa City Marketplace, Sycamore Mall.
Here is your KCJJ forecast today. Mostly sunny. We'll get to 90 for a high this afternoon. Wind will be out of the southeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, 67. Tomorrow, sunny, a little warmer, and it's going to be a bit more humid, too. Our high right around 92. The heat index will be close to 100 tomorrow. On Friday, partly cloudy, late day and nighttime storms with a high of 92. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 79.
Hello.
Man, you were talking to Adam. The phone other line was ringing in the background. I bet the gym class is jealous.
Well,
Yeah.
what just happened there?
Well, we were talking to Adam. The phone was ringing in the background, and he said maybe the gym class is jealous.
Oh,
There you go.
Because we're getting a call.
at the 2 calls at the same time.
They don't get calls, is what he was trying
No,
to say.
I've never heard. Tom, have
No.
you ever heard that?
I never.
No.
It's never brought up here.
No, I want to be polite to everybody.
There you go. Hell, like I said, you should send them an advertising bill. I mean, they've got more pub here than they get on their own station.
I always take home a sack.
Wonder
Yeah.
what they would do if you sent them like an $800 bill and just had all the mentions for.
They wouldn't pay it.
That wouldn't be. That would be kind of funny though, wouldn't
It'd be
it?
great if it worked that way.
Can you imagine if they did pay it? Hey, this works, Suitor. All right.
That'd be great.
All right, what were you saying, Tom?
Take home a sack. That's their little phrase.
Whose little phrase?
Steak and Shake.
Oh,
Take
okay.
home a
I
sack.
thought, okay, I thought we were on.
Well, there used to be an Indian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, you're right. I do remember that.
Yeah. And now they don't do that anymore.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well, I would think that would show the Indians are,
Remember the commercial with the Indian willing to tear at all the trash?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Remember that
Yeah.
one? Wouldn't it? Didn't he end like at the Statue of Liberty or something? Or,
Yeah.
that commercial was. What was that about? Was that just a commercial?
Pollution.
Yeah.
Anti-pollution
Yeah,
commercial.
anti-pollution. Hello?
Hey, it's lonely old Grandpa Dirk.
Hey.
You know, that Indian really wasn't an Indian.
Okay.
No, you're right.
He was an actor, not an Indian.
Okay, and they probably
Not-
says at the
not
bottom.
Native American in any sense.
He looked the part.
Yes, he did.
Yep. I think he was Italian. Or
Okay.
of Italian heritage.
I could see that. Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like.
Love hearing you guys talking about Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
That's been a long-time favorite in our family. They were founded in Normal, Illinois, part of the Bloomington, Normal, Twin Cities, if you will. And my dad's only brother was the first meat buyer for Gus Belt, the founder of Steak and Shake.
Well,
Wow.
Yeah, so when we were little kids, that was a big deal to go to Steak and Shake when we went to visit my aunt and uncle in Bloomington. What a lot of people younger than me don't remember is that Steak and Shake also was famous for curbside service. You'd pull up in the parking lot, turn on your lights, and they would have waitresses come to your car.
Yeah.
And then take your order and deliver food, and you'd roll up your window halfway.
And they had
they'd put
short
that
skirts.
tray right on your window.
Yeah, they had short skirts, too.
And now they're worried they'd get
No,
taken
I don't
away.
remember that. I remember.
Yeah, they did. No, I remember that in the Quad Cities. They had
Is that
shorts.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
They had little checkered skirts.
I remember the one in Davenport has moved. In fact, I think it's Bettendorf now. I know it's Bettendorf. Yeah, the one on Brady Street closed when they opened the new location just east over in Bettendorf. It's over there by that big shopping complex right off Interstate 74, just before you get to the bridge.
This has become a commercial for Steak and Shake.
Are you going to send them a bill?
Yes, I am going to send them a bill.
You know what's really great about Steak and Shake is the griddle. They smash that burger flat.
Yeah. It's better not to see it being done, though, I think.
Oh, in sight. It must be right.
Yeah, I've had both experiences. I prefer not to see my food being cooked.
We like to sit at the counter when I take the kids in. We like to sit up there and watch them
I've
smash
done it.
those burgers.
That just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. But to each his own.
That's right. You
Some
don't
delicious
think you'd
burgers,
like burgoo either, but burgoo's pretty daggone good.
I've never had it.
I believe that Pat would not be.
I love vegetables,
burgoo
but
fan.
Suter makes it sound like it's vomit, so I'm not getting a real
It looks
strong.
like vomit.
But no, I do like vegetable soup, and I like a lot of gumbos, and
like
I love a lot of. So I'd probably enjoy the taste if I could get by the. Sounds like the. I don't like gooey stuff though. I don't like overcooked vegetables that get really soft. I don't like that.
You can't even see the vegetables.
Yeah, you wouldn't. This wouldn't fly for
Yes,
you.
No, you
It's
wouldn't
more of a
like this.
gruel.
Yeah, you wouldn't like it.
But
We
Steve
just,
kind of liked
turned
it.
on
It
a
wasn't
new,
bad, but I'm not like looking into it going, hey, this looks like vomit.
Pearl. I like.
You know
Pearl.
what's not vomit like?
What's that?
The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band lead singer, founder, guitarist, songwriter Jeff Hanna turned 71 today.
Not a big fan. You know much about the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band?
Oh,
Were they nitty and were they gritty?
well, they had Bojangles was
Mr.
big hit.
Bojangles.
And they did a song called Propinquity that I always liked.
They're a really good band. They've been together for over 50 years.
Wow, just like
Yeah.
Captain.
Yeah.
And Jeff Hanna's been with them the
Just like
entire
Captain.
time.
All right, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. I'm
How
sure.
about Suzanne Vega? Her name was not Luca. She's 59 years old today.
She lived on the second floor, though.
I hated that song. My name.
You know
is
what?
Luca.
That song was groundbreaking because it put illumination on child abuse, something that had really not been talked about.
No,
until
that's good. I just
1987.
didn't listen to the song enough to when I
Yeah,
first.
it just was odd watching the kids dance to it on Bandstand.
Yeah. No, if it had a message behind it, I respect her for that. It just didn't. Is she the same one who did 99 Luft Balloons?
No,
that was Nina.
That's another annoying song.
So,
She was
Pat, back to
Germany.
the Hawks.
Why couldn't she just get 100 Luft Balloons? Why did it have to be 99?
I don't know, but we used it as a promo
dun.
when I was on
I'm sure you
KFMH.
did.
It was
Dun, dun, dun,
99.7.
I'm sure you did.
Dun, dun,
She
dun,
sings the
dun,
line 99 lights up the air.
And then you probably used that miserable song 99 by Toto.
No,
No. God, I hate that.
99.
How about that song, Suter?
Ooh, I hated that song.
Hi, Dirk, 99, Toto?
Didn't really care for Toto too much.
Me either.
I liked Africa.
I
It
did
was-
too.
I didn't like
That was
Africa.
good.
That was because a guy across the floor from me my freshman year would play it nonstop on his ghetto blaster and sing to it.
I liked Rosanna.
And I liked that one even worse because that was the other song. He listened to the stuff over and over and over, the same two songs, and he would sing to it and look at himself in the mirror. And it just really bothered me.
Was he in his underwear?
No, it wasn't. And it just bothered me. And I'd just crank like Led Zeppelin 1, and then he'd slam his door, and then boundaries were set.
That's
All right.
a good call right there, Pat.
What about the Hawks, though?
So, Manny Rugamba, what are you hearing?
Well, I'm hearing that he's just sort of been falling out of grace on and off the field for a while, and I don't want to read too much into this. I think more than anything is he got beat out, and
Yeah.
I don't think he wants to go through maybe what it takes to try to have a chance to win the position back. Remember, he was suspended for one game to start last season. There's been some stuff going on, but I think mostly it's playing time and maybe just falling out of the graces of the coaches. But I'm speculating because I haven't had a chance to sit down and talk to Manny about it. But I mean, when you lose your job in a season where you start suspended, then you transfer, things to me you can piece them together.
Some people are suggesting that he didn't leave the team. He was asked
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, and it's either one or the other. I mean, it's simple to speculate either way. It wouldn't surprise me if it was either way, and it wouldn't surprise me if he was asked to leave and didn't present it that way on social media. Why would he? I mean, but like I said, I don't have any verified proof that yes, it was Iowa telling him to leave. I don't know.
Well, I'll never forget that great play against Michigan.
Yep.
His freshman year turned the game around.
Well,
got huge. A great visual in my head about that play.
Yeah, no, it was huge. It was a tough interception.
And I really think he's got one of the all-time great football names. I loved saying his name, Rugamba.
Yeah, no, it looked like he was going to maybe be Iowa's next great defensive back, and then Josh Jackson took that role last year, but now you got Matt Hankins, and it looks like clearly, I mean, Matt Hankins was going to start, I think, once he came in late in the year and played well. Michael Ojemudia is the one who they seem to have kind of picked over Manny Rugamba, because I think maybe there was a time when Manny thought, okay, I'll start with Matt, but no, Michael Ojemudia is kind of who they went to, and I think it's a combination of things, but obviously playing time is a factor. I think if Manny Rugamba was listed at number 1 on the depth chart right now, I don't think he'd be transferring.
Yeah. Time to move along. I missed who you were talking about earlier. You said a volleyball coach had been suspended for a year.
Well, the City High coach has been apparently the Gazette had something yesterday. The City High coach will not be coaching this year while they review allegations that he had organized practices or something when he wasn't supposed to. That's how I interpret it.
Oh man!
So so we'll see.
That's a shame.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have all the facts. I don't know. So I'm kind of uncomfortable talking about a story that I didn't write.
Sure.
But no, it sounds like he's not going to be around for just this year.
All right. Well, appreciate you getting us updated. One last plug for Steak and Shake. The best burger in the world is a Steak and Shake triple cheese with extra pickle, tomato, and onion. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Don't Good like stuff. Onions.
Well, I love onions.
I love onions.
I love onions.
Best burgers on the planet.
God, you should send me a bill.
This is ridiculous.
My God.
you go to like Monica's and you get one of their burgers, or you get.
Well, how about the sponsors of our
Hamburg or Midtown?
Well, but yes, I mean, we love Steak and Shake, but I think we need to leave it at that. Do you think? Are we done?
It's so cheap.
Well, that's part of the reason. That's part of the appeal.
Yeah. It's cheap.
And it's good.
Yeah.
No, and it's good for cheap food.
I feel like a Whopper, actually.
No, I will say a Steak and Shake burger is not as good as a burger at Monica's or a burger at Chili's, but it's also 1/4 the price.
Well, yeah.
So that's the beauty of it. Yeah, those you keep saying that singles $3.99. No, singles are much cheaper than that. I mean, ask Tommy. Singles are cheaper.
I've never got a single.
Singles are much cheaper.
Why would you get a single?
Well, because single. You get a single because you don't want to spend $4 for just a burger. You get a single because you want to. How much are they, Tom?
You don't want to spend just $4.
Well, I think you can get a single. I think you can get a single plain for like $2. I mean, I think they're that cheap. I mean, it's cheap. Now, their burgers aren't the biggest things either. I mean, I don't want to get carried away here.
No, they're not.
I mean, have you ever seen a Chili's hamburger? Since we're on this big thing of talking about people who don't have.
I haven't eaten at Chili's in 20 years.
I haven't eaten there in probably 10 years. But they've got big burgers. But the problem is if you don't ask them for without they just come bathed in mayonnaise. I mean, it's just they're.
See, I kind of like the Burger Kings because there's mayonnaise.
Yeah,
they're not bathed in it.
I've never understood.
Oh, I love mayonnaise on them.
I've never understood mayonnaise on hamburgers. It's never made sense to me.
I love it.
I barely understand ketchup and mustard on hamburgers.
Well, I don't get ketchup and mustard either.
I get mine plain.
I don't. No, mustard belongs on hot dogs.
I get mine with cheese and onions. Sometimes tomatoes. Problem with tomatoes, sometimes you get a bad one. It gets all
and it gets
goopy.
I generally get lettuce, tomato, and cheese. If pickles on there, I'll eat that too.
I'll get pickles. Depends.
I don't like pickles on there. Jan does. I don't like pickles.
But onions, we got to have onions. Got to have onion and cheese. To me, those are what rounds out the burger. So, all right. But yeah, the Manny Rugamba thing. I think when he tweeted the other day, you knew this was coming.
Yes.
I mean, you just knew when they put out that little. What was it? An alarm clock?
A little alarm clock. Yep.
So that was like, hey, wake up, guys! I've got some news coming for you. That's kind of how I interpreted that, and that's the world we live in now. And it'll be curious to see. Do you think he transfers to another Power 5, or do you think he transfers down?
I think he transfers down.
I'm guessing that too. Now we've seen more of Power 5, but there was a time under Ferentz where anybody who left Iowa, they never transferred laterally or up. They always transferred down. Most of them do. So you could see him being a MAC guy, Western Michigan, something like that.
That's my
He's
guess.
from Naperville, Illinois. So, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I...
So in Illinois State or...
So Illinois State, Northern Illinois.
Yeah. Yeah, possible. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah, now he would have to sit, though, wouldn't he? Yeah, they still have the transfer rule.
Because it's still.
Yeah, I don't think they've changed anything yet, but yeah, that would have been interesting. But no, I was not surprised by that. So they've lost Romeo McKnight, Manny Ragumba, and who's the third one that they've lost just recently? Boswell, Cedric Boswell. So that's why these scholarships always seem to work themselves out. People are like, oh my God, they've got 87 right now. What are they going to do? Well, they always find a way.
They do.
And when they offer, they know that other guys are probably, they get word, hey, Manny's not going to be here in a month. And I think they plan for that stuff. They know, I'm telling you, the Iowa coaches know that Manny Ragamba's leaving a lot sooner than Manny Ragamba lets know on Twitter that he's leaving.
Well, of course.
Yeah, so that stuff, they can plan for that. So these scholarships will all work themselves out. And I'm not really, the Ragamba one is weird because he was established. But then you get suspended and you fight with injuries. What's the win one for the Gipper? You know what I mean? You can be gipped out of your job, and I think that's kind of what happened. Manny really struggled at times last year. I mean, wasn't he the one getting toasted in the Purdue game for a while?
Well, a couple guys got toasted.
But then they finally put Matt Hankins in at the end, and that's kind of when Matt Hankins took that position over, and they're like, okay, here's our guy. Then he played well against Nebraska, played well in the bowl game, and I think Matt Hankins just established himself. They hung up?
Yeah, their cell went out or something.
Oh, because, that was barely 2 seconds. We've kept people waiting for 5 minutes while we're talking about Gigi Allen. You know, we'll keep you waiting for anything. But no, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe one or two other players left before the season's over. I mean, this stuff happens. I mean, it just does. I mean, it's just...
You always go back to Gigi Allen.
Well, usually Suter mentions him lately.
We go from talking about burgers to Gigi Allen.
God,
do you think Gigi Allen likes Steak and Shake?
Well, I was going to ask, what would you have done if you went into a Steak and Shake and did the booth scene like Dirk said and Gigi Allen was cooking your burger? Would you like that? He's got feces all over him.
No, that would not be good.
Would you stay in there and eat, Captain?
No.
What's Gigi Allen doing cooking our food? At least he's wearing gloves, though. What do you think of that?
I don't think a lot of it.
So, trying to think.
Is anything going on basketball-wise? A couple point guard names have been mentioned.
Those names have been out. The Aaron Hutchins guy, his name or whatever, has been out there for a while. I mean, I don't know. I read the story from the Register, which was like, it seems like it countered everything. I wrote a column saying that, to me, if they feel they need a point guard, they are in a scramble mode right now. Don't you agree?
Yeah, but I don't think that they feel they need
Well,
one.
that's damn. If they didn't feel they needed a point guard, then why did they offer 15 or 20 of them? And why have they gone all out on D? I mean, that's damage control, which I understand. That was complete spin damage control. The only reason we wanted DJ Carton is because he's 50 miles down the road and he's really good. We don't need a point guard. Yes, you need a point guard. Jordan Bohannon's going to be a junior. I mean, you need a point guard. Carton wouldn't be here for another year. Well, what they're thinking, that's just spin and damage control after losing out on a recruit that you really desperately wanted. But to say that Iowa doesn't need a point guard is just being naive or just refusing to accept reality.
Hello.
All right, I'm at the Steak and Shake drive-thru. What do you want to know?
You really are there?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
How much is the single combo and how much is the double combo?
Well, number 14 is the double steakhouse burger with cheese and fries for $3.99, and number 17 is the triple steakhouse burger with cheese and fries for $3.99.
Thank you.
But what about the one I always order, the 1 and the 2?
Number 1 single steakhouse is $4.99 with the Coke.
Okay. Yours don't have drinks. Okay, that's why I never get. Okay, well I never get the ones that don't have drinks.
Well, I never do either.
The full combo
I just
ones.
look at the $3.99.
The full combo one. How much is the double? How much is the single combo at the beginning?
Single is $4.99 with the Coke, original double is $5.79 with the Coke.
Okay, that's what I meant.
What is the?
And I'm going to go now because I probably think I'm tasting the place.
Oh, because I always order the $4.99 one instead of the $5.79 one. I don't get that price, so I don't get that pricing at all. But the double combo
I've
is
never
more.
understood the pricing.
But the double combo with the drink is more than the single combo with the drink. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, all I look
because I never
at
go
is,
down to.
I say I want. I look at it says $3.99, single, double
or triple.
and I say I'll take the triple and I'll take a drink. So,
But no, the regular meals, the full meals, are a different price. But they don't even offer a triple in that. I don't think they even have a triple with a drink and a full combo meal. I don't think I've ever seen it.
well, you can order a triple and then get a drink,
But you can't get you can't.
and I get fries with it.
Well, yes, but that would be more than if you ordered the $4 and the drink by itself is like $2. Then you're spending $6.
It's $6.
No, all I was saying though was I knew that the double and the single
Yeah.
combo meals were different priced with the drinks and everything, and I still don't get their pricing system. I don't get it. I mean, it was $5.70.
I mean, it's $6.
Well, I mean, I've seen you guys complain about money. I mean, $6. I mean, it all adds up. I mean, I just think it's funny. You're dismissing it like it's nothing, and you guys
Well, it's $6
count
when
pennies
you-
like no one I've ever seen. I mean, but all I'm saying, and that's what I think Tommy was saying too, was that if you go to, I don't want people to think you can go get a full combo meal at Steak and Shake, and it's not going to be a different price if you get a single or double. That's all I was saying. They are different prices. Most people order. You guys don't order a drink when you go to Steak and Shake? See, I always do. If I'm going to go and get that crap food, I may as well just round it off with more crap.
I would go there today if I were anybody. I'd go there today and I'd get 2 triples, and come with fries, and then tell them to stack them on top of one another.
But you wouldn't get a drink?
Yeah, then you order a drink separately.
Well, then you're spending more money doing that because they kill you with a separate drink because they're like $2. They start at like $2. That's where places make their money. Is
true.
beverage. I worked in the business.
No, absolutely.
They don't make their money with the food. They make their money with the drinks.
Well, they make their money with it. I mean,
Not near as the drink is. I've worked in the business.
Pizza costs.
I'm just telling you. When I worked at Spaghetti Work, the food markup was hardly nothing. They'd pay 3 cents for a glass of pop and sell it for $1. That's where they made all their.
Yeah.
Well, back when I was working there, that was the price.
Yeah, now
and it was 3 cents.
your drinks are $2.50.
They make a killing with
Well,
beverage.
if you go into a restaurant and pay $13 for a hamburger, they're making plenty of money on that.
But they're
hamburger.
making more money on the drink that comes with it. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And what grocery store would you go into and pay $13 for a hamburger?
Not a grocery store.
Oh, I thought you said if you go into a store. And pay.
Restaurant.
Yeah, if you go downtown.
Oh, I don't.
It's I can't remember what the train thing. What's it called? Yeah, Pullman. You
Okay,
go
but
into
for
Pullman,
every one you find at that
it's
price, I can find one for $10.
$12, and then you have to pay an extra $3 for fries.
I mean, you can get a burger at Sam's for $8.75, and it's as good as any burger in town. And
Cut
they
out.
advertise with you, so
Yeah, they do.
Sam's burgers are great.
Yeah, they are.
I've never had one.
And their go-to burgers are always.
But I always get the pizza.
I get their pizza too, but their burgers are very underrated.
Patience callers.
Oh, they hung up?
Yeah.
That's the second one. I don't know if do you think they want to talk Hawks or food?
Food.
Probably. I mean, it's July 11th. But in 2 weeks we'll be heading over to Chicago. That's how soon. Yeah, I won't be able to do it. Wednesday I'll be in Chicago, so I'll have to either call or.
Can you imagine Licklider at the training table, and they say, pass me the burger.
Well, I can't. I would.
By the time it gets there, it's cold.
I can only imagine what they were eating under him because remember there was a while when he wanted his players to get smaller, then he wanted them to get bigger.
Uh-huh.
And see now some of that's going on right now. I don't buy that Iowa needs to get that much stronger. That was a lack of strength to me never seemed to be a problem last year. But if the coaches feel that's what they need, then that's what they need. I thought a lack of quickness on the perimeter, a lack of cohesion, and I'll just say it. I thought sometimes a lack of effort. I thought there were games last year where the players just came out flat.
Yeah.
And when they got behind early, they started pouting, and then they just unraveled, and boom. How many games did we watch last year that were over with 5 minutes to go in the first half?
Too many.
Lots of them in conference play.
Too
just
many.
over.
Yep.
I mean, just over. They were done. You'd hope that maybe they could come in the second half and make it respectable. That's what they got to get over to me. And I don't think that was from a lack of strength.
No.
I mean, of course, you got to constantly stay in shape and work to get stronger, but it seems like that's the one thing they're acting like, well, we need to get stronger. I mean, Cordell Pemsley's doing just the opposite. He's getting quicker because he wants to try to figure out a way to get on the playing court through defense because he knows that offense, it's probably not going to happen. So we'll see. So that will be interesting to see how Fran handles that. It will be interesting to see if Fran does reward playing time on defense this year because I don't think he ever really has.
I don't know. It's going to be real interesting how he's going to balance out the minutes because we are a little bit stacked at the 4 without any question.
And then you're going to have Moss, Daly, Connor, and Bohannon. Those 4 guys playing the guard positions. I mean, to me, they got to hope that Connor plays well enough to where Jordan doesn't have to play 35 minutes a game. I mean, I think Connor, at worst, is going to be a serviceable guard. If he can make his 3-point shot consistently, that will really help. I'm not convinced he can right now. I need to see it. The one thing I'm convinced he can do is he will be unselfish. He will run the offense. He will hit the open man at the right time and in the right place. There's an art to passing, too. It's not just throwing the ball to your teammate. You got to throw it in positions where they can score, at moments when they can score. And I saw enough of him last year to think that he can do that. And so that's why I give them hope in that regard. But I'm telling you, it's still going to come down to defense. Iowa's going to score 80 points a game. That's not going to be a problem. They're going to have 3 guys probably averaging at least 12 to 15 points a game. They're going to have probably 5 or 6 averaging at least 8 points a game. But if they surrender another 79 to 80 points per game like they did last year, average, it's not going to matter.
It's going to be the same year.
It's going to be the same year. So if they don't improve on defense, this whole thing doesn't matter how many dunks Tyler Cook makes or how many threes Bohannon makes or how many consecutive free throws he makes or how many baskets Luka. None of that will matter if they don't guard. And I think they realize that. I think that was the eye-opener from last season. Wow, we're not good enough to offset being average or below average on defense.
So why do you think Fran said, no, it's not the defense, it's the offense?
I think a lot of that was PR. I think a lot of that was mind games, keeping us off the story. And also, I think Fran wanted to avoid addressing publicly what was really the issue. Just what he says publicly doesn't mean that's what he's doing privately.
Right.
I think Fran knew it was defense. He finally said it after the season. I just don't think he wanted to add on to the concern. The players already knew they were sucking on defense, and if you have your head coach ripping you publicly, God, could you imagine if that would have been Alford? Hey, well, I wasn't a great defensive player at Indiana, but I played a lot better than we are. I could have seen him.
Oh, yeah.
He would have thrown that team under the bus multiple times for how bad they were on defense. Fran never did that, and I respect him for that. Fran does not throw his players under the bus.
No, he doesn't.
He may yell and scream at them and tell them to shut the F up and whatever, but he does not throw his players under the bus. And he treats them fairly. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me saying that they've heard that one of the reasons Carton didn't come here is he didn't want to deal with the father-son dynamic because he's worried that it would cost him playing time. I don't buy that for a heartbeat. And if Carton felt that way, that's his mistake. I don't think he felt that way. If DJ Carton came here, he would play as many minutes as he wanted and as many as Fran felt he warranted, and he and Connor would have played together. It would not have been an issue. It just wouldn't have been.
Yeah,
I don't think it would have been. I just think that's people searching for explanations. He didn't come here because the program's not good enough right now. That's what it comes down to. And I think if DJ Carton would have lived here for 15 years, he would have had some serious issues about joining a program that's 4-14 because he really wants to compete for a national title. That's what he said throughout the whole recruiting process.
Yes,
now, I'm not sure he's going to get that done in 2 or 3 years at Indiana. Now, I know the Indiana fans are convinced. They're just like Nebraska fans. They're convinced they're going to be in the title game next year, but that's how Indiana is. To me, Michigan is probably the most ready to win right now because Ohio State, they had some losses. I mean, they really did. And so we'll see. To me, Michigan is the team that's really just ready to keep winning, and so we shall see.
And who'd they lose besides Wagner?
Abdul
Rockman.
Yeah, but Charles Matthews decided to come back, I believe, which was a key. That was key, and I believe they're going to miss those 2 guys, but he's got good recruits coming in, and they've got a great system right now. They really do. They're going to miss both those guys. They're going to really miss Wagner. I mean, they really are. His ability to make threes, he can rebound. He was a very versatile player. They will definitely miss him.
Yeah. Yep. So, well, Hawks got a lot of work to do, and they got some time to get it all figured out, but we sure weren't close last year.
No. And like I said, the Carton thing just adds to a kind of a funk that, I mean, had he picked those 3 schools that Iowa had coming off an NCAA season, yeah, it would have been disappointing, but fans wouldn't have been as gloom. There's just a lot of gloom and doom with Iowa men's basketball right now.
Boy, there sure is.
I mean, a lot of gloom and doom.
Well, it just hasn't been. I mean, our recent history hasn't been great. I mean, we were good for. We were better, much better with Woody and Gazelle, and Sapp. You know, those guys had some pretty good years.
Well, I've had people reach out to me and say he's got to go. He hasn't raised the bar. Okay, Alford didn't raise the bar. Tom Davis sort of did. But to me, there was a while where Fran was almost an exact duplicate of Tom Davis once he got the program going. The bar hasn't been raised since Lute Olson went to the Final Four. I don't know what people are talking about. And Lute Olson had a lot of one-and-done NCAA tournaments. I mean, he did a great job here, don't get me wrong, but some of these Iowa fans in situations like this, they kind of act like the 1950s were just 10 years ago. It's been a long time since Iowa was elite in men's basketball. That's not an excuse for Fran.
Toledo in the first
But that's not an
round,
excuse for Fran. That's just a fact. Iowa men's basketball is not an elite program.
No.
So, judge, if you want to judge Fran by elite standards, that's not fair because Alford was never judged that way. I mean, Alford did just what Fran did. Well, with a lot more baggage.
With people remember, or some people remember Alford as being a little bit better just because of his Big Ten tournament success.
I guess, yeah.
But other than that, he hasn't been any better than Fran.
No, and he absolutely killed the program.
Yes, he did.
I had somebody reach out to me.
As far as fans go.
Well, somebody reached, why do you keep bringing up Todd Licklider when you're defending Fran? It's kind of, should we still keep blaming Bob Cummings? Well, when I came up here in 92 and started covering Iowa football, the football program, 92, 93, and 94 were 3 really bad years. And when people started ripping Hayden, what did the defenders right away start doing? Who do you think they brought up?
Cummings.
Bob Cummings,
Yeah.
13 years old. That's just what naturally happens. And 92, 93, and 94, there were a lot of people wondering if Hayden had run its course. And to be honest with you, they were never that good after 91. They had the 96 season. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
There was never 95 to me at 8-4 where that team was Shaw, Banks, and Dwight. That was okay, but that team was down 56-0 against Ohio State in the second quarter. To me, the 90s were not the same as the 80s by any means.
No.
Under Hayden Fry. I will give Kirk credit. I think Kirk's done a little better job of sustaining the second half, but Kirk also hasn't won 3 Big Ten titles, and he hasn't won a Big Ten title in 14 years.
Right.
I mean, it's been 14 years since Iowa's won a Big Ten title in football. That's a ways.
It's a long time. No, and the last 2 years, 8 and 5. They haven't been great years.
No, but they've
had moments of greatness within them. Beating Michigan was certainly a huge win a couple of years ago, and then last year, obviously, Ohio State was just a joy.
Oh no, they've had some big wins. Basketball hasn't had many big wins, and it would have been so big for Fran if he could have just gotten one of those 3 NCAA teams to the Sweet 16. It would have bought him so much more patience and understanding from the fans who are getting impatient right now. But it didn't happen. I mean, to me, it's ridiculous that Iowa hasn't been to the Sweet 16 in nearly 2 decades. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
But that's the reality.
That's the reality. And the Big Ten title thing, it's almost now, I don't even know how to explain it, that 1979. This year will be this is the 40-year anniversary of Iowa's last Big Ten title, 78-79. This is 18-19. Think about that.
That's crazy.
I guess, is that the kind of thing you celebrate and honor? Don't you ignore that if you're Iowa this year? Do you want to?
Oh, wow.
Do you want to honor your last Big Ten champion 40 years ago?
I would.
I think you could honor the team, but I don't think you say this is the last team.
Well, yeah, I mean, you honor it just because it's 40 years and you kind of let go.
Can you believe it?
And you overlook the fact that, hey, the reason we're not honoring anyone else is because there ain't anyone else. But this will be the 40-year anniversary of Iowa's last. What were you doing in 1978-79?
78-79, I was...
The band wasn't started, was it?
No. I worked at a talent agency.
Where? Here in town? There's a talent agency here in town?
Yep.
Is there one now?
Don't think so.
What did you do for a talent agency?
Recruited talent and got them jobs in clubs and
I didn't
stuff.
know. I always...
I did that for a number of years.
I always thought that was pandering. No, I'm kidding. I had no idea there was a job like that in Iowa City. Those jobs don't exist anymore in Iowa City, right?
Not that I know of.
So you would find like young singers and.
Well, the bands playing around, we would get them jobs.
Oh,
and
I see.
And they
Okay.
paid us commissions.
Okay, so you would book bands and stuff like that.
Yes.
Who's a band? Did you ever do like the Violent Femmes?
Mm-mm.
Who's any famous band?
Oh, we got some famous bands, some one-nighters, like the Drifters and those
Okay.
kind of
Yeah.
things.
Okay.
And we got a few for, like, not Ted Nugent, but...
Did you ever think about becoming like an agent?
Well, we were an agency.
Oh, okay.
So we were. Yeah, that's what we were.
And why'd you stop doing it?
So I wanted to play.
Oh.
During the Licklider years, they were the Tepid Femmes. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
The what?
The Tepid Femmes instead of the Violent Femmes.
Yeah.
Only the fans were the Violent Femmes.
they were wild.
Violent Femmes used to play in Iowa City
They
all
were
the time.
sleepy.
Yeah,
were
they
they
did.
from Milwaukee?
Yeah.
They used to play up here all the time
Yeah,
when I was in high
yeah.
school. All the time they were up. I used to think they were from Iowa City. Are they still around?
I don't know. We had them at. They came down and visited KFMH a number of times.
And you know that famous song they have. I mean, a really famous song.
Yeah.
But they haven't been in Iowa City in years. That's neat. I did not realize that you were a talent agent.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Yeah, Tom, did you ever book the Day Trippers, Tom Nugent and Mary Dean?
No.
Okay. I
Aren't-
just wanted to...
aren't they getting into the-
Fascinating life.
Aren't they getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year, the Iowa Rock and Roll
They
Hall of
are.
Fame?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. No, I never did book. One of the bands that I did book almost exclusively was a band called Kabbalah, and they're getting into the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. They were terrific.
What kind of music?
Funk and rock.
How about the salsa band? You've heard of the salsa band, haven't you?
Yeah.
I used to see them a lot.
Yeah.
Remember a band called the Sun Dogs?
They're still playing the Violent Femmes.
Are they really? Why
They
don't they?
played 80 to 87. They skipped a year and went from 88 to 2009, and then they came back in 2013.
So they started almost 40 years ago. The
Yeah.
Violent.
Wow.
That's
Are they
amazing.
still violent?
Yes, and
Very
they're still.
violent.
Are they still femmes?
Yeah, evidently.
Interesting.
This is odd.
What's that?
Well, Mark Dukes went by the drive-through at Steak and Shake, and nobody answered.
Well, it is odd.
Yeah.
So I guess for him it doesn't matter what the prices are, if they're not going to respond.
I understand he gets really tough.
He's a nice guy.
Pat's got to work with these people, Steve.
He's a nice guy.
I don't know him. I can't help it if nobody
So
calls him.
if whoever
Is
tells
it my
you-
fault that nobody calls him?
So, well, I've actually heard him get calls at times.
Oh, come on.
No, I was driving the other day and someone called in. I'm telling you.
Was it a wrong number?
No, someone called in and participated in whatever little thing they had going on.
Okay, I have to take your word for it.
I'm telling you, it happened. This isn't like a Bigfoot sighting. This thing actually, I heard proof. They had a call. No, you're basically saying that if the guys up there would just stop acting like it bothers them, you would stop.
Yeah, but it does bother him.
Yeah, but maybe I'll tell Brownwood Tell your troops to
rise
above it.
Yeah, rise
above
it,
it,
Todd. Come on.
Rise above the immaturity.
Yes.
And then you'll stop doing it, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Well, but if Steve stops, the callers will continue to do it, though.
Oh, without question.
Yeah.
You've created
a monster.
A monster. A media monster. The callers are now kind of carrying your torch.
To be quite truthful with you, I would have stopped it after day one, but you go, I got to work with these people. And I thought, okay, I know I'm upsetting them, and now I'm upsetting him, even though I like you. There's something wrong with my character.
You like the awkwardness.
You understand that.
You like the awkwardness, the
and I
uncomfortable,
understand that there's something wrong
maybe
with
a
my
little
character.
tension, a little friction.
My character is
It's a little,
Iffy?
little off.
Yeah, it's iffy.
Where are you guys going for lunch today? Steak and Shake?
No.
Why don't you guys go to Steak and Shake and order the combos that I was talking about and then throw a fit when they're not $3.99? See what they say.
Because it's too far.
And say you're confused by the
Yeah,
menu.
it's too far.
Seriously, try to get that double combo with a drink and say you will not pay more than $3.99 because your menus are very misleading. See what they say. What do you think?
They are interested. The menus are interesting.
I want that combo with a drink, but I want $3.90 because the thing that you say doesn't necessarily say there's no drink on there. So I'm telling you, do it. Go battle them.
What I like to find is a restaurant that'll beat anybody's price. Like you get those offers, we'll beat that other person's price.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have that much anymore, do you?
And then like go into Joseph's and say, hey, I can get meat. I can get meat at Steak and Shake for $3.99.
So I want that 16-ounce ribeye for $3. I haven't been to Joseph's since I took my sister there when she was in town.
It is good.
Oh, it's great. But I mean, I had a gift
certificate. There yet.
I had a $200 gift certificate. And just myself and my sister, we almost used that whole thing up, and she doesn't have much of it. I mean, I remember we got a bowl of mushrooms, and I think it was like $15. Yeah. It was incredible food. The steak was incredible.
Oh, no, the steak is delicious.
And they had these little romantic curtains, and I'm sitting there with my sister in this little romantic booth eating a $60 steak.
Wow.
And she looks at me and she goes, if you just get married, this wouldn't have to happen. I remember her saying that. That was probably 10, 15 years ago. Is Joseph still around?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But isn't there something called the Chop House now, too?
Yes.
So where's that?
Well,
by the Englert.
Yeah, but it's not Joseph's.
Oh, no, it's nowhere near as good as Joseph's.
Is it as expensive?
No.
Okay.
But it's not in the same class as Joseph's is a
And I like steak places,
nice
but steak's one thing where if I go out and spend it and buy a big, nice piece of meat and doctor it up, I can make a pretty good steak on my own grill, too. That's my one problem with eating steak out. I can do a pretty good, but it's not cheap. I mean, to go and get a really good steak that's going to fill you up, you're going to spend $15 almost now. I mean, meat's just unbelievably expensive now. It really is. And these tariffs, and I'm an independent, so I'm not making these tariffs are just messing with everything. They're messing with your retirement. They're messing with, I mean, someone was saying that automobiles may start costing
$5,000 more.
We won't be able to survive that way.
No, if this continues,
but it won't continue though. The market will even dictate Donald Trump to admit that he's wrong, or he won't admit that he's wrong. He'll blame everybody else, but then he'll concede. Don't you think? That's what I think ultimately what will happen.
We'll see.
Because aren't the soybean farmers in trouble?
Yes. Yeah, in a lot of trouble.
That's a major part
of
our
the pork producers.
That's a major part of our economy.
Yes. Yeah. No, this is not good.
How will this affect the prices at Steak and Shake?
$3.99
through everything. Yeah. And Trump will use that.
He'll say, "Look, you can."
But the soft drinks are going to go up to like $5 and $6.
Yeah, well, something like that probably. Because I'm telling you, man, when most people go to places like that, they don't order just the food. Most people don't.
Right.
Most people don't.
No.
Most people always, and I'm one of them. I always, because part of the reason I'm going to a fast food joint is to get some really bad pop. It's just a big combo of misery, That's kind of how I look at it. But their menus are kind of misleading, so I'm telling you,
they are odd.
You could go and order that double and say, hey, I thought this was, I bet you they'd let you go through if you threw a big steak.
Why am I throwing a big steak?
Because that's kind of what you do.
No, you've got me all wrong.
I'm telling you, though, I think you could get away with it.
What are you looking at me like that for? Do I always throw a big steak?
No.
I think you could get away with it one time. I really do think you could.
Am I not?
I may try
I've been
that.
going to lunch with Steve for, 15, 20 years.
And I've never thrown a big
I don't
steak.
believe that you ever have.
I have never thrown a big steak at lunch.
Only on the radio. On the radio.
Oh, on the radio plenty of times.
Well, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Throw a big stink bomb.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
sums up the last 24 years.
A movie that I had never watched until last night. I watched about an hour of it, and I have to admit it made me laugh. Was Liar Liar. I mean, I had never seen.
That's a good movie.
He's funny.
That is a good movie.
He really is funny. That scene where he leaves the elevator after farting and turns around and says, "Yes, I did." I mean, his body language and stuff I find Jim Carrey to be funny. Is he retired now?
No, he's crazy though. He ain't right.
What do you mean?
Oh, he's just really odd.
Oh, really? I was not aware of that.
Kind of gone off the rails a little bit.
Hello. People don't want to work with him. He's just
hello.
odd.
Good time for a Hawkeye question.
Okay. Whatever you want.
Does the training table ever go over to Steak and Shake for the Hawkeyes?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think Steak and Shake's high on Chris Doyle.
Although they'd get mostly triples.
Well, they would. And
These
then
are
Doyle,
big football
could
players.
you see Doyle at the window arguing about the price? Listen, this guy wants a drink. Why does he have to pay more than him? Could you imagine Doyle arguing with the prices? No, I don't believe they do.
No, my serious question is,
All right.
with Manny going, and my speculation is he's getting beat out, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
You got, 3 or 4 safeties, quality safeties, a couple solid cornerbacks. What's beyond that?
I mean, I think they're okay. Cornerback's a little bit of concern at depth because a lot of their bodies behind them are unproven, whereas at safety, you got 4 guys who've played. And I don't think any of those guys at safety could switch over to cornerback. Maybe Amani Hooker, but he's too valuable at safety. So right now they got Ojemudia, they got Matt Hankins. Now Boswell's gone. They got Trey Kramer, the kid from Georgia. I think he's going to factor in at cornerback. And I think maybe one or two.
Is he a redshirt?
He's a redshirt freshman from Georgia. And I do think that maybe 1 or 2 of these incoming freshmen, a DJ Johnson or a Dallas Craddock, I don't know if it's safety or cornerback, but I think one of those guys could factor in too. But they've got at least 3. There's another name I'm not thinking of right now at cornerback. I'm just not. But they are a little thin. I mean,
They are.
When you lose 2 scholarship cornerbacks in the spring cycle, that hurts a little bit. So yeah, I mean, it's there. You got to hope that maybe 1 or 2 of these freshmen will step up.
Yeah, do you think it'll help if we hybrid one of the safeties also to one of the linebackers?
I don't know. I mean, possibly, but I think they're better off just relying on their 3 linebackers. I mean, Amani Hooker, they've talked about maybe using him in that regard, so we'll see. I mean, a lot's going to depend on how Brandon Snyder's health is. Everyone says his knee's back to 100%, so we'll see. But I don't know. I still think they're going to rotate those 4 safeties. But I also think you're going to see a lot of 5 defensive back formations against passing teams, maybe even sometimes where there's 6 D-backs in there and maybe 1 linebacker and 4 defensive linemen. I think you're going to see a lot of that because they've got so much depth at safety.
What's Frost's system over at Nebraska going to be? Is that going to be a pass happy?
It's pass happy, but it's also he likes to have a running quarterback. So the one thing I've noticed about Scott Frost's offense, it adapts to situations pretty well. But he does like to have a quarterback who can move, and it's kind of hard to really give his offense an identity, and I mean that as a compliment. It can do a bunch of different things, but we've only seen him in charge for a short period of time, so it will be interesting to see. But I think it's going to be an offense that, of course, relies heavily on a talented quarterback to beat you in a number of ways. But yeah, they'll pass, but he also likes to run too, so I don't think it's going to be anything like the old Nebraska offenses. But I don't think it's going to be like what Bill Callahan had. I think Frost knows exactly what he wants to do, and I think you're going to see some balance. But I do think his quarterback will be maybe less pro-style than Iowa's quarterbacks.
Okay, final question. Who do you think is going to get hurt more by their Nebraska coming up in the Tennessee and recruiting? Minnesota, Iowa, or Iowa State?
It's a good question. That's a really good question.
All of them,
but let's try to pick one. I'm trying to think. I mean, Iowa's been recruiting in Nebraska pretty hard, so I don't know if that will be the losing talent for Nebraska. I think what he's talking about more is, let's say a kid from Indianapolis, where Iowa's is down to Iowa and Nebraska. And if Nebraska, I mean, you could make a case for Iowa simply because Minnesota has Minneapolis. Minnesota has more high school football players. You could make a case for Iowa State, too, as maybe more than anybody. But the reason I would maybe say Iowa more than Iowa State now is just because Iowa's in the same conference as Nebraska. But that is a good question. And I don't want to say Iowa because I think that'll piss off Iowa fans, including Suter. But you could make a case for Iowa among those 3. Because
doesn't piss me off.
But if it was in Minnesota, if they were a Big 12 team, I would say Iowa State without question. But if Nebraska gets back to being a 10-win team every year, that's not going to help Iowa at all.
No, absolutely
and
not.
If Wisconsin doesn't fall from that, because like you said, Tom, somebody has to be average and somebody always has to be bad.
Absolutely.
And right now, I still need to see a lot more from P.J. Fleck at Minnesota. A lot of people.
I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything, and I don't think this team on paper this year looks that great either. I really don't. So that is a good question, though. That really makes you think.
All right, thanks, guys. Love the show.
Thanks for the call.
But like you said, though, all of them right away.
Yeah.
I mean, but Minnesota does. If Minnesota could just harvest Minneapolis and keep all the good players, there's got to be 15 to 20 really good players that come out of Minneapolis every year.
Always.
But they go different places.
They do.
But now if P.J. Fleck gets in there and starts winning 9-10 games, I don't think Notre Dame hits Minnesota really hard. They've done that for years, and Iowa's gotten a lot of good players out of Minnesota.
They have, and no, if PJ Fleck can just keep those kids at home, that'll make his program.
And do you think there's room for Iowa to be successful? Can Iowa be what they are now if Wisconsin and Nebraska are consistent 10 and 11 win teams? Do you think Iowa
can we be an 8-win team?
An average could keep
7 and 8? Yeah,
rise up every now and then. Okay.
Yeah, but
what if Purdue becomes an 8 and 9 win?
I don't think they will, because I don't think Brohm's going to stay. I think they'll fall back. That's pure speculation.
Yeah, I think Brohm's there for at least 3 to 5 years. I think he made that because he turned down. Who all did he turn down this? Like Tennessee?
He did, but who knows what his heartbeat team's.
But if he's there 3 to 5 years,
then I think they'll get up to Iowa's level.
I think they'll be like Joe Teller. I think they'll be a Joe Teller type program.
Yes, I agree.
And Joe Teller did stay there, so no, that will be interesting to see. Because Jeff Brohm leaving after a year would be a lot different than Jeff Brohm leaving after like 3 or 4 years. Because at least after 3 or 4 years, you could say, "Hey, look what I've done for you guys." A year would look bad, but no, if Jeff Brohm leaves, Purdue has shown an inability to hire good coaches consistently.
Yes,
they get a Jim Coletto, then they follow with a Joe Teller, and then they get
Danny Hope.
They've just been, and with Iowa, it's happened so infrequently. The last 2 they've hired have worked. So, but Purdue is hit and miss, just like Illinois is hit and miss. But it's going to be interesting because I do think Scott Frost is going to win at Nebraska. I don't know if he's going to be a dynasty. I don't think Nebraska's ever going to be.
Do you think they can do what Wisconsin's doing?
Yes, I do think that they do was because they've done it before and much better under completely different circumstances. But yeah, I think Scott Frost can be a 10, 11 win coach there. Now, let's say Scott Frost is there and they're just rolling. They won 2 Big Ten titles. Does he stay at Nebraska for the rest of his life?
For the rest of his career? He might.
That will be interesting. Could you imagine?
I think that's what the fans are
convinced. Oh, I'm sure the fans are convinced.
How old is he?
Scott Frost, what, mid-40s?
If.
Yeah, he's about 8 to 10 years younger than me, I think. He is. His last year at Nebraska, I thought, was 97. I thought they said that, so that would be,
I was thinking
21?
40 or 41.
So he's probably about 42, 43 years old, yeah. So, I mean, he's got 25 years more coaching if he wants to. Easy.
Hello?
Oh, Pat?
Yeah.
Yes, hi. What do you think of that guy from Omaha, that Heinrich, and the other gentleman from, was it Cedar Falls or north there that...
You're talking about linebacker?
Excuse me?
You're talking about linebackers, that Nick Heinrich?
Yes.
I think he looks really good on tape. He's a 4-star. He grew up being a Hawkeye fan, but his recruiting has kind of went silent, hasn't it?
It's been real strange.
He's not talking to anybody.
The thing that I'm going to suggest is that, and who's the guy from, like, Waverly Showrock?
That's Mosiah Newsom. I'm not hearing great.
No, he's not leaning towards Iowa.
He seems like he wants to leave the state to play. I think he seems really high on Michigan State.
Oh, I see. No, I didn't know.
And Nebraska.
I was going to say, if Nebraska gets both of those in Scott Frost's first season, I think it's going to be, I'm not going to say doomsday or anything like that.
Yeah, let's don't get carried away.
But it's not going to be good.
Well, no, that'll be pretty telling. I mean, if he does get Heinrich to stay, because Heinrich grew up an Iowa fan.
Yes.
And if he gets a kid from Waverly Shellrock to go to Nebraska who Iowa wants, Iowa offered that Newsom a long time ago. They want him. So that would be, but still, it's only 2 guys. I mean, I would still need more proof to see what's going on. But yeah, the Nick Heinrich one, I used to see stories about him all the time, and Tyler talked to him a couple times, and now it's like he's gone underground.
Yeah.
So,
and just one request, I'll let you go. So what about a quarterback from Texas? And you guys have a great show. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What, Deuce Hogan? Is he talking about Deuce Hogan?
Probably.
I mean, he's got 2 more years of high school left, so to have already gotten the scholarship offers that he has as a sophomore is impressive. He's got good size. I mean, he seems pretty confident to release that kind of video he did when he committed. That doesn't really fit the Iowa culture, but that doesn't mean he won't come here and not fit in. But no, I mean
They can't sign for a year and change.
Yeah,
so
I mean
who
it's
knows?
still so much could happen. I mean, I wouldn't be stunned if Deuce Hogan ended up signing with a different school, and I wouldn't be surprised if he honors it. Recruiting is so fluid. I mean, if Texas ends up going 11-1 this year and they offer him a late scout, who knows? You just don't know.
Scott Frost does 43.
Okay, that's about.
So you were right.
It's about.
Yep.
Yeah, because I knew his last year was 97, so he's got at least, if he wants to, 20 to 25 more years to coach if he wants. I mean, he's basically 20 years younger than Kirk. I'm right in between Kirk Ferentz and Scott Frost, kind of age-wise. So he's got plenty of time, and I'm sure Nebraska fans are convinced he's there until he's done coaching.
Well, that's what they think, and they also think he is absolutely the answer.
Oh, well, it's just.
And what my question is, if he doesn't succeed at Nebraska, what do they do?
I don't know. That's a good
Somebody on ESPN that calls him Scott Fraud.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard anything bad about him.
This-
But you're right, though. That if he doesn't win there, I think some Nebraska fans will be like, nobody can win here now.
I think that would be let the air out of the balloon.
No, let's say he does Bo Pelini. They go 9-3. I think they'll be a lot more receptive of 9-3s under Scott Frost than they were Bo Pelini because he's not a jerk like Bo Pelini.
Right.
And I think they realize now, hey, 9-3 is not that bad. Especially if 9-3 can get you to the Big Ten title game. You win that 10-3 and go to a bowl game and go 11-3. I mean, those will be. I mean.
Well, 9-3 hasn't been getting you to the Big
Have
Ten.
you heard of a
title
guy
game,
named,
very often.
his last name's Stugotz?
Yeah, he's a guy on ESPN.
Yeah, he says he calls Nebraska coach Scott Frost Scott Fraud.
Why?
I don't know.
Obviously, he doesn't trust him or whatever. But no, 9-3, I could win you if you lose a non. Let's say you go 1-2 in non-conference play and then go 9. Well, 9-3, you can't. With the way the conference is set up, you could lose your conference games and run the table in the
Yeah.
conference. I mean, there was a couple.
Yeah, that's
didn't.
true.
But no, 9-3. What I'm saying though is, I think Nebraska fans would be more receptive of 9-3 now, because they know that it can be a lot worse than 9-3, and the person doing the 9-3 now, they are a lot. Bo Pelini never really.
No, he's a jerk.
Fit in there, and he was a jerk.
They've lost 10 players since Frost was hired.
And that's not unusual.
Yeah.
You guys remember when Kirk Ferentz took over here?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
there
that
was a
was
lot of problems.
that
Remember
was a cluster.
Ryan Lofton, remember he stole the
playbook.
playbook. Remember Matt Rogers, the
Yeah.
offensive lineman accused. I mean, that stuff happens with all coaches. So I don't want to read too much into a head coach based on kind of the attrition that takes place when he takes over.
And he's got to get his players.
He
in
does.
there. And that's
And I didn't
the
think
way of the world.
I didn't think anything less of Kirk when all that stuff happened. All those stories had both two sides to it, and I mean the Lofton one was unfortunate just because it got so ugly. I mean, he should get charged with extortion. Remember that?
Yeah, that's crap. What he
I was
did
on vacation. I was up at Clear Lake when that story broke. I knew it was coming though, but that's when we had joined that Sunday package with the Register back in '99. And the Register, I remember when I just started. That's when I first started thinking, man, that thing sucks. Because that was the time when I was on vacation. I remember Rob was working for us, and Rob just said, "Well, the Register's doing the whole story. They're not going to let us do
Well,
any
you
of
could
it."
get the Register if you advertised for $3.99, and if you did both,
You get the Press Citizen
for
$3.99.
$3.99.
But
Yeah.
if you want
But if
a
you
cup of coffee with that, it's going to go.
or
up
you
to,
want a listing in classifieds, it's going to cost you $8.
Do they even have classifieds in newspapers anymore?
Yeah, but there's not a lot in there.
What's on there?
It's not the cash cow that it used to be.
Oh, it used to be the driving force.
There's some,
And I never really realized that when I
some
worked in-
realtors, but not a lot, and so it really isn't a lot.
But when I used to go to the Press Citizen out there on Dodge, I'd walk in. The first, you'd see the lady working at the counter, the receptionist. Then right to her left and right were 5, usually women, on the phone all day, classifieds.
Yep.
All they did was take apartments for rent. I mean, everything. That's where all of our money was. And
Yep.
then then came internet, then came Craigslist, then came Twitter and Facebook, and we were done. It was
Yep.
over. And newspapers haven't figured out really a way to. I'm not sure if there is a way to make up for that lost. I mean, you're never going to make up for all that lost classified stuff. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, but no, I never really appreciated that when I was there. I just didn't really understand how it worked. But it was classified advertising.
That's for sure.
And you probably don't. I mean, you remember walking into the Press Citizen.
It was the first time I walked in there when I first started here. It was a beehive.
Would that have been 93, 94?
92.
Right when that's right when I got there. And
It was a beehive.
It was just people everywhere.
Yep.
News 2000. Just, I mean, big trucks that we deliver papers and printing. 40 guys wearing the blue printer press. I mean, it was complete.
And it was just a beehive of activity. And then the last time I went in, a number of years ago, it was a morgue.
Was it still out on Dodge?
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end there.
The last time I went was where it is now, and there was tumbleweed going down the
by Lynn Street, where they are. They're right across the street from. Well, now the Motley Cow's not even there. That's just an open building down there now. That seems like a good location too. They got to get something in there.
Motley Cow. There hasn't been another restaurant there.
I don't believe there's anything there. Tyler said right now, because you've got Hamburg down the street, and you got the Goosetown thing. Tyler says they're killing it. Business. He says they are basically a brunch place. That's what they specialize in. Goosetown. It's right across the street from Hamburg. He says they are killing it right now. Says that, but
breakfast lunch place.
Yeah, they're not open for dinner. It doesn't sound like it, and part of that he knows is just the new novelty of it.
Sure,
but I think that's a good location for them, and if it's good food, people.
Used to be Paul Revere's.
I thought Paul Revere's was down over there by El Banditos.
It was,
and then it was on Market.
Oh, I don't remember that, but that's a long time ago. I only remember it being where El Banditos was.
Yeah, but El Banditos is on Market.
Okay, well then it was there.
That's what he meant. Okay, I think we. Oh, we
Yeah.
got another. Hey, gee, we got another call.
Yeah.
See, I'm not saying anything.
I know you're not.
I'm not. I'm trying to be.
I know.
Not saying anything.
We get so many calls we can't even stop.
Yeah.
Is that what you're?
I'm not saying anything.
All right. What do you got, caller?
Tom?
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to ask you, since you know a little bit more than Pat maybe in wrestling, so what do you think on the transfers and the people coming in? And
Richard,
what do you think about the Brands brothers in next 2 or 3 years? And no, I mean, I don't know who else they would get that would be better than they were. I mean, you know what I mean? And,
yes.
And they get somebody else. So I'm just asking, since it's been a staple for so many years, and I mean, what do you think of the future of the wrestling program? And they brought a guy on.
And I want to. Can you? Give
I
us
would defer to Richard. Actually,
I want to do your wrestling credentials before you. Richard, do you want to answer that? He's here. I saw him.
Yeah. And I've
that was like 5 questions.
I let you go today twice now. Okay.
No, he was nice.
He was nice, but he's a racist, and
But he wasn't there.
Told,
he was against me. He says I don't know enough wrestling to appease him.
But he's a racist, and he was told not to call the station again.
Oh, that's
a
between
number
you
of
guys.
times.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, things do certainly appear to be looking up for the wrestling program, but Richard's the one.
Well, I mean, I can answer it. I mean, he wants to know. Did he ask if there's anybody better than Tom Brands? Was he going through like a coaching change? There's no talk of a coaching change.
No,
Wasn't that
there's
part of.
none of
Wasn't he suggesting that? And I think he said that he agree. Who you're going to get this better? Right now, you're not going to get anyone who's better than Tom Brands because Cale Sanderson ain't coming to Iowa.
No.
Hello.
Hey, I'm guessing that the classified ad department at the Press Citizen still gets more phone calls than 1,600.
Jesus, I knew that's where that was going. I knew that's exactly where it was going, and look how proud he is.
I
Look at him.
didn't do nothing.
You didn't say anything.
No, we have banned the guy. The guy on a number of occasions.
Okay, I was not aware of that. That's
has
if you could,
dropped.
Isn't he the one that wanted me to bring my dog up to you?
Yes. Yeah, and we're not dealing with them.
But no, there is new life coming into wrestling. This Jacob
yes.
Warner. No, I'm not going to go as. The Register wrote a story that makes it look like if he loses one match, the world's going to come to an end. But that's the Register. They tend to get under that hype train, which is fine. But he's definitely going to be an asset. I mean, he is. They've got some good new pieces, but, and I think Richard would be the first one to tell you this, they were behind Penn State by 44.5 points at the NCAA championships, and almost all those guys are coming back.
Yeah.
So Rutherford's not coming back. I think Iowa's getting better. I don't think Iowa's anywhere close to narrowing the gap against Penn State yet.
No.
But they're but it's
Spencer Lee has elevated
he's definitely
things
elevated. And I think
a
this
lot.
Warner kid sounds like he could be a potential Spencer Lee, but I believe 5 of Penn State's defending champs, or 4 of them are coming back. They lose Zane Rutherford. So to me, it's going to be Iowa climbing to Penn State more than Penn State falling back to Iowa, and that's what Tom Brands is trying to do.
Well, if Penn State falls back, I don't think it's this year.
No, it's not. Not as long as they still got Mark Hall, Bo Nickel. Those are just two. There's some other. What was the other guy's name that won a national championship? Stenzo or something like that. I can't remember. They've got 4 or 5 guys that, barring a major upset, will be national champions again. That's just the way it is right now. They're kind of like what Iowa was in the 80s, and people from other schools will, is this the year where you think maybe we can beat Iowa? That's what Penn State is now, and Iowa is one of those other contenders from back in the 80s now that's trying to dethrone the dynasty. That's kind of where we're at.
I think you're spot on, mister.
And it's a 10:42.
Yeah, come on. How long can this go?
It's
And believe me, to that caller before the last one, who was excellent, by the way, I will never forget him as long as I own the station. You are not welcome here. 'Cause
are we still back to the call?
The racist guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was saying racist stuff on the air. That's not good.
No, not at all.
We already got enough of that crap in this world. We don't
Yeah.
need it
Yes,
here.
sir.
Yeah, it's not going to be on this station. And
Did you
you're
see
not
the
gonna
lady?
be welcome
Did you
here.
see the guy who accosted the lady at the park because she had a Puerto Rico shirt on?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the hell?
Go back to your own country. This is, I mean, how stupid.
Puerto Rico is
our country.
I mean, I think sometimes we forget, but that's the lady she's a leave me alone, sir. Leave me alone, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, that just pisses me off when I see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mind your own
Ridiculous.
freaking business.
It's
Whatever.
ridiculous.
I don't care what your political
Well, there was
views-
a couple that went on an army base, and their kid is, in the army and serving, and has done a couple tours over in Afghanistan, and they wanted his parents, and they went to visit him, and they were arrested, and now they're going to be deported.
And I think that sucks. And I don't like that Dick McConnell had to get chased out of a restaurant. I mean, the world, it's just, I don't
No,
like
this
that.
is
Steak and
just-
Shake?
No, it was not Steak and Shake.
That'd be great.
And he says, well, I don't mind getting rousted. I've already eaten. I only spent $4, but man, I could sure use a drink of pop. I'm thirsty. I am, though. I'm going to test that next time I go there. I'm going to go there and be like, well, where's my pop? I'm going to order that. I want that triple double for $3.99, and then, well, where's my pop? And I'm going to be like, well,
If you see McConnell,
what do you think they'll tell me?
Steak and Shake or any of them, yeah.
Roust them? What do you think they'll
Roust
tell
them.
me if I put up that fight? You think will I win or lose?
You'll end up paying for your drink.
Because I cannot. You got to get something to wash it down.
Well, I never thought. I
And-
just ordered the damn thing.
Can
I
you
look
get
on
water?
the menu. It
I
says
don't-
$3.99.
$2.
I just find it ridiculous that that you can get either a single, a double, or a triple for $3.99.
Well, yeah, and I've never. I'll have to. I've never noticed that.
Yeah.
And it.
Well, it's on a different part of the menu.
It must be
Yeah,
the
and-
non-combo.
And then I
menu.
go,
Yes.
then I go,
Yes.
why in the hell would I get a single when
And
I
then-
can get a double? And why would I get a double when I can get
Okay,
a triple?
then why does pop make the prices change? Why doesn't it just
Different sizes.
Why doesn't it just elevate everything for?
Because a small drink is
Oh,
this, a
okay.
medium drink is this.
And that is, like I said, I
Yeah.
guarantee you, Steak and Shake
That-
people will say,
absolutely.
we don't make our money on our burgers. We make our money on our drinks. So you're really killing steak. Guys like you only go there to get the cheap non-drinks. They'll go out of business if it's just people like you. I keep them floating.
Hello?
Does McDonald's still, when you order a sandwich and fries and you want a water, do they still do Dasani water or whatever and charge you for it?
I've never.
I don't know.
I've never ordered water.
Why
at
would you
McDonald's.
order water?
Well, some people don't drink pop.
Well, when you're going through a drive-through, you're putting fries in your mouth, and you're.
That's how I look at it.
Burger,
You're
and you
already
go,
basically just
"What?
eating just
Yeah.
crap.
Why
Why
would
not
you-
wash it down with crap?
Yeah, a chemical that'll at least,
Break down. Yeah,
break
no.
it
the fries.
If I go fast food, I'm going all out. I'm washing it down with that sugar-filled drink. But no, I didn't realize
that
that.
is a good marketing thing because water's not free anymore.
Well, I
You
know
gotta
water.
Pay for the water.
Hell, I pay for you. There's some concession stands you pay $2 for water. I mean, most of the high school ones will charge you $1. Some will be really nice, even give you a free water when you're doing radio. But yeah, no, water's not free. Has water ever been free?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Cups of water. Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah, but your water at your
we
house
gave
is
free water at Lum's.
But what I'm saying though is your water at your house has never been free, is it?
But I mean, most restaurants still that you go to.
Well, yes, I'm talking about like your water bill. I mean, there's never.
Oh no.
Hello.
two things. First thing, went to KFC the other day,
Yeah.
ordered all the food. Oh, crud, we didn't get anything to drink. Well, we just need something for the way home, so we asked for a small water, and she just gave us a Dasani water, so that was nice of her.
That was nice.
And Wrigley Field, about 3 weeks ago or so, $5.75 for your water bottle.
Jeez. Wow.
$5.75.
Well, it's
that, and,
$5 a Kinnick.
17,000 hot dogs per game.
Isn't it $4 or
at
$5 a
$7.50
Kinnick?
pop.
How many hot dogs?
17,000 per game at $7.50 a pop.
Do the math on that.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and Kinnick sells water for $5. That's how much it is.
Yeah.
That's
$5.75.
How much? Well, he's talking about
Well,
Kinnick.
Kinnick, though, yeah, I think it's $5.
So that's about $120,000 worth of hot dogs
per game.
Per game.
That's
So for $13.50, you can get no ketchup, no mustard, hot dog, and some foil, and a water.
That's incredible. That's why I don't go to a lot
Yeah.
of professional sport. I just don't do it. It just doesn't
The
make any
cool
sense.
thing about Busch Stadium is they let you take a cooler in full of unopened, broken sealed water bottles. So we took in an 8-pack of Aquafinas and saved about $180.
Wrigley doesn't let you do that?
Yeah, no Wrigley, no Wrigley.
Interesting. That's interesting
Wow.
that Busch allows that. Yeah, so
But then it was $13.50 for a tall boy. So we spent $100 for what?
13. How much was your beer at the Rose Bowl?
$13.
For was it a glass or was it a bottle? Or?
It was 20 ounces.
You're paying almost $1 an ounce.
So $13, yeah.
Wow. If you want to get.
I mean, there was no gun to my head. I forked out the $13.
How many did you have? You didn't have like 10 of them.
Oh my God, no! I
No.
had probably, I think, in the course of the game, 3.
Well, that's a decent amount. So you spent $40 on beer. Wow. I mean,
yeah, I did.
Yeah, I
Oh no,
guess-
that was for me.
I guess with that game, you need to drink your sorrow away.
And I bought Ann one, and she spilled one of them. I kicked one of them over accidentally.
So you bought 5 beers.
I think 6 actually.
6. So
Yeah.
that's think about. they
That's about
spent
$80 worth of beer. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's. I mean,
Again, there was no gun to my head.
No, I know.
You want to though. You want to go. You want to go to the Sam Tudor thing when we're trying to respect them.
I'm not.
We're showing them respect.
Sam
We're showing
Tudor's
you
a-
respect.
Good.
I
Sam
will
Tudor's a
show
lack
you-
of respect.
Yeah, I am showing you respect.
Because Sam Tudor's
Good.
not. It's not
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
No,
We've
and
been
you
told.
started it.
I did start the Sam Tudor,
Yeah.
but when he's gone, you bring him up a lot more than I do.
So that's because.
Trust me, he does bring you up a lot more than I do when you're gone, and it's never under flattering terms. It's-
I'm sure not.
That is not true.
It's usually to feed off the
That's not
skid,
true.
but it's all in fun.
Yes, it's all in fun.
We have a caller.
Yeah.
We made somebody wait through that.
Yeah, what really sucks is when you're at a game and you set down your nachos between your legs real quick to do something, and then a drunk guy walks in front of you and steps on your nachos, and he doesn't ask us to pay him or anything.
That wouldn't be good.
That would suck. I would not eat my nachos after someone stepped in them.
See, those nachos at the games are nasty.
And how much are they?
I don't know. I don't get them, but I mean, if you get them at Kinnick, they've got that
Cheese whiz
sauce that is just horrible.
Gross. And then it's stale chips, and they throw a couple jalapenos.
And it's just horrible.
Hey, Tommy, I'm going to make a decision. I know you're the program director, but I say we do the police reports tomorrow.
Jesus, it is 10 to 11.
10 to
And we're just
11.
accomplishing nothing. This is, when's the last time we
So
even
true.
mentioned the Hawkeyes? I'm just
The beer at the Rose Bowl.
Beer at the Rose Bowl. Beer at the Rose Bowl.
But we didn't talk about the Hawkeyes per se
No.
in that.
And we don't have a Friday. We don't have a Friday
No.
we have
No.
an auction, so we won't be
And
back.
when you return, if you want to see us and
Oh,
hear
that's
us,
right.
you go to YouTube on Monday, the official 1630 KCJJ. Subscribe to that channel on YouTube. Otherwise, you can listen to us. Just go to our website or get the TuneIn app or the
I
MyTuner
think
app.
next week I'm gonna reach out to Don Patterson, maybe do kind of an early look ahead to the season. I haven't spoken to Don for a couple of weeks, but maybe get him on either Monday or Wednesday or Friday next week. I'll look into that because we're getting close enough to the season, even though I still haven't gotten. I finally figured out. I called Athlons. the other day, and I'm like, hey, I'll get you that basketball preview by the end of the week, and should I be concerned that I haven't gotten my football check yet? And he writes back, yes, we sent those out in late May. And I'm like, great. And I'm like, well, can you look into it? And I will say the executive editor gets back to me, is 100% my fault. Sent all the list of writers to payroll to accounting back in April, and left your name off it for some reason. Sorry, we'll get a check out to you on Friday. So
well, at least they make it good.
Yeah, he just forgot. I mean, they have a ton. I'm probably one of like 50 different people that do their. I wonder how the magazines like that make their money. I mean, there's a lot of ads,
don't you?
There's ads on there, but there's magazines aren't just filled with ads. I do wonder how because they spend a lot of money to writers. You got 40, 50 writers making at least $500 per story. I mean, that's a lot of money, and those magazines don't have tons of ads.
No,
they have some ads, but always.
And what do they charge for? Are they about $12 or something?
Oh, that's what they are now.
I think so.
God, then that's probably where they get part of. I didn't realize they're that expensive now.
I don't know. I haven't bought one
for a magazine.
Yeah.
But I think it's about that.
Or if you buy 2 magazines, it's $12.
$12. They're just. But
how many what do you pay for 3 of them?
$12.
But what if you get a drink?
$28.
All right, I think we're done. No, but we do not have a show on Friday. You've got your big. Is this the midsummer auction?
This is the sizzling summer auction.
Sizzling summer, and it's going to be like 90.
Yeah, it's going to be sizzling. Yeah, we got a lot of great stuff, including sports stuff.
You have anything from Steak and Shake?
Huh? No, but we're going to get you get Patterson on, and I'll call up the manager, and then you can of Steak and Shake, and you can argue with them about the pricing.
We could do that. No, I'm going to try. I'm going to try this though and see if I get away with it. I'm with Tom. I don't think I will get away with it.
AllHawkeyes.com. Get your subscription this day.